Something is.
Well, you gotta see what you're doing.
Nah, I got it.
Let's go in here.
Don't turn the heat on. We get along.
I could, yeah, that's awesome.
Air conditioning.
Yes. I like it when your mask matches your outfit.
Thank you. Yeah. We can bring it in a little. Last time we had to get a little bit. I mean, this is okay, but.
I mean, see?
Yeah, just zoom in just a little.
Yeah. That's why I struggled, just a little bit. Okay. How much? I don't touch your phone. That's how much bigger it is. Will fit in your pocket.
This is it?
Was that big
Yes,
screen?
it is.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. Okay.
Good. I really think the,
Nice. New tech toy.
I forgot this was on.
oh no, I think she,
Which helps, right?
I think she just started.
Tax season.
Okay.
Did you order from Verizon? Oh. Do it all through there.
Okay. I had this bigger and I think it shrunk.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, yes.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Oh, do I need it? I got one. Oh, I'm good. It'll last.
I have 6 o'clock.
Close it.
Call this meeting to order. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Desha?
Yes.
Steve Bone?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Jill? Yes. Jane, yes. Chad?
Yes.
Do we have any visitors that would like to address the board? All right, seeing none. We'll move on to our first order of business today, which is to approve employment of a new Unit 40 superintendent. I will entertain a motion and a second to.
Annie.
I will calling in right now.
Put it in a motion.
All right, we'll start again. I'll entertain a motion and a second to enter into a contract with Mr. Andy Johnson as superintendent for Effingham Unit number 40.
Motion.
Motion by Steve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brad. Roll call.
Desha?
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Robin,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Jane, yes, Chad.
Yes.
In the past few months, the Unit 40 Board of Education, with the assistance of Educational Leadership Solutions, and specifically Rich Volz, Carrie Ruby, and Don White, has conducted an extensive search for our next superintendent of schools. Based upon the profile created by the board and with input from community members, we believe we have found the individual that best fits the qualities we were striving to find in a leader. The Board of Education is excited to announce that Andy Johnson will be our next superintendent in Unit 40 schools. Andy may be a familiar face in our community because of his many years in Teutopolis and Jasper County schools. Born and raised in McLeansboro, Andy comes from a family of educators with both parents and several siblings being teachers and administrators. He attended McKendree College in Lebanon, where he participated in baseball, graduated with a degree in PE and health. He began his teaching career at Marissa Junior Senior High School, where he taught and coached many sports for 14 years. His next stop was Teutopolis as high school assistant principal and athletic director, where he stayed for 7 years until he accepted the position as superintendent at Jasper County Community Unit School District number 1, where he is currently in his 6th year. Andy and his wife, Shara, who teaches in the Stu Strauss School District, are empty nesters, but the proud parents of 3 children. Son, Austin, a teacher and a coach, and wife, Kelsey, who reside in Troy. Daughter, Callie, who is completing an internship at Disney World in Florida. And daughter, Taryn, who attends SIUE, majoring in elementary education. We are so excited that Andy Johnson will be joining the Unit 40 team as superintendent in July 2022 and becoming an important part of the Effingham community. Please join me in welcoming to our Unit 40 family, Andy and Shara Johnson.
They didn't think I could truly do this without them being here tonight. They had to make the trip up, and I appreciate that. Before we start, I will introduce, if you don't mind, who's with me tonight. Obviously, I have my lovely wife, Shara. She's a teacher in the Stu Strauss School District. She's here. I need to stand in front of
Yeah, I
this.
kind of want you to go make sure the mic picks it.
Well, I have microphones where I'm at, so I'll have to get used to a microphone.
There you go.
Sorry. This is my wife, Shara, and then I have my father, Dennis, my mother, Ann, Marshall Tar, which is Taryn's significant other at this point right now. Taryn, is that a good way to say it?
Yeah.
Kelsey, which is Johnson, used to be Warmer, grew up in Teutopolis, and then my son, Austin, in the background right there. Another thing that I was thinking a little bit about today in preparation for tonight, and I didn't add them up, but we could add them real quick if somebody's a quick mathematician. My father has 33 years in the classroom. Mom has 33 years in the classroom. More? 34? She takes good care of me, you can tell. Both have coached an awful lot. Marshall's in lineman school. Taryn's studying to be an elementary education teacher. Kelsey's working as an architectural designist. Is that something of that nature? Interior designist at a firm in St. Louis. And then Austin is currently teaching math at Triad High School and doing some coaching. Shara's teaching at Stu Strauss and has been for several years. There's a lot of education years represented by this family, and I can't say enough to my parents for creating a legacy of this nature for us to be able to have an impact in the education field and people that we deal with in the manner in which they've set us up to be. So I'll also tell you that if I make any kind of mistakes, I will let you have Mom's number. You can contact her to make sure she realizes she messed up in that area. Thank you, first of all, to the Unit 40 School Board for believing in me to be a part of the team in the Effingham Unit 40 School District in the coming months. I'm ecstatic. I'm humbled. I'm honored, anxious, because I know what you have here as I've been in the area for several years. I would like to thank several people that reached out to me, that I reached out to as well, for information about the status of the school district as it functions today. I'm not going to name people. I'm not going to name them because I'll forget somebody. And I apologize for that part, but awful lot of people played into putting me in a position to better understand the inner workings of this educational institution that I've always looked at it since I've been up in this area for the last 12 or 13 years as a really neat organization for students and staff. In researching the district, I've been very impressed with a few things that I've run across. First of all, I feel in the conversations that I've had, your certified and classified staff are exceptional. They're committed, they're dedicated, they care about kids, and are anxious to do what's next, even in a time such as this, dealing with pandemic, or hopefully we get past, we can get to the post-pandemic. A community that rallies around its students, district employees and board members that care about students first, which is something that's very dear to my heart. A school board that has a desire for student success and for that to take place collaboratively with the district and the community. That's something that I've done everywhere I've ever been. It's not me. It's us. It's we. And that's exactly what I've shared with this board over the interview process, and that I look forward to as we move forward. A student body that seeks innovative ways to strive for success in the future. Many of these people in this room can go into that in much more detail than I can right now, because I've got my hands full with trying to do the same in a county right next to you. But I can tell you, as I look at that, I'm very excited to meet the students, the staff, and the community, so we can continue to be difference makers in the lives of these kiddos. That's been an emphasis in the school district that I will be leaving in the coming months, as be difference makers. Lots of kids don't have people like us in their lives when they go home, and they need us to make sure that we're there to help them any way that we can. I'm a firm believer in that relationships are the key to everything we do. Everything we do comes down to a relationship. We're going to disagree. Disagreements aren't bad, but at the end of the day, we've got to know that we're on the same side and we're on the same team. My core beliefs are, and I don't impose these on anyone, but I try to demonstrate them. I try to live this out every day of my life. Number one in my life is God. Number two in my life is my family. As you can see tonight, probably not very many superintendents have a family show up in the manner in which they're here tonight to support me, and honestly, your school district, because they'll have conversations with me. That lady right there shaking her head will pray every single day for the hearts and the hearts and the hearts of everybody in this community. And number three is work. Do I get those mixed up? Yep. Do I get them tangled up and do them wrong at times? Yep. But I work every single day to try to keep them in that order right there. A wise person once told me many years ago, before I even began my career in education, no one cares to listen, especially when you're in the classroom,